So, welcome back, everybody, after a month and a bit break. Last session was the 1st of March 2020, which is session 40, and now is session 41. Do people recall roughly where we were?
Not a clue.
Okay.
David, ahem.
So, the first line of my recap is simply Yogi is the top. I remember that conversation. We went back to the Rose. Bear Grylls made tempura scotched roe. Stowbold went to see Fred. And they had a conversation about the order Anisoptera. Each cell is a group of 5. The truth is catastrophic. And then something where I can't read my own writing. The cognitive dissonance between the lie of the shadow and the truth of the actuality seems to cause problems. Talk of lots of spies, and I put in brackets personalities within personalities. Fred suggests to go to the Museum of You in the Palindrome district.
Yes.
Hawk was doing some maker duties.
I shitty remember.
Right in my ear. And then a note that Kelly's put in, which says the looking shade.
Looming shade.
What?
The looming shade. It was the
looming shade.
Yeah.
Then Zarni Whoop's offer. Hawk has a chat with Zarni Whoop. Dennis comes out of the
hole within the hole.
Dimension, literally. Hawk sweet talks Zarni Whoop. For Dennis, no time has passed. It's something to do with end space unfolding. Can't read my writing there. There is a secret name which we weren't allowed to know, and I drew a pouty face.
I love your notes, Dave.
Sorry?
I love your notes. I think they're more entertaining than the real story.
Roland went to the Order Goetica. He saw Walter Peck. Did lots of paperwork to take a leave of absence. He went to speak to Mia. Mia is scared of the antigram that we've got of 19's name. Mia gave me her true name, and I gave her one of my pistols.
I'd forgotten about that.
I'd forgotten about that.
I remember the bit with Mia.
Remember that being really like. I know the name.
I know you know the name.
I think that's cheating. Insider knowledge.
Yeah. And we were going to do a development mode between then and now, because it's going to take effectively 10 weeks for Roland to head off and learn this secret of using the antigram or calculating people's antigrams. So I'm not sure if that's going to be something to do now, or if we can.
I'd like to get back into the swing of the game. Come on.
Yeah. Okay. So we can
anybody else.
Possibly montage that later.
Yes.
Yep.
Even Rocky had a montage.
So 10 weeks later. That's almost on par.
6 of those have passed in real time.
Yeah.
Some variety of plague has affected Saturnine.
Let's not. This would get really, really scary, and I'm not going to sleep.
No. But I didn't want to mention to anybody that, or didn't want to highlight to anybody that this disease is called COVID-19.
Oh, no, I thought about that.
I did not realise that.
I was.
That's
I was hoping
the face I was after. That's the face I was after.
Get the shake of shame.
Okay.
Is COVID his true name? It is now.
So very briefly, in one word, what have you been doing for the last 10 weeks?
Preparing.
I think I've been talking with Fred, talking with others, just because all my sons shifted and I wasn't sure of who I could trust and that kind of thing. So I'm just kind of talking and finding things out for myself rather than trusting what people have said about anything or other people or whatever.
All my sons have shifted. I like that phrase. That's good. Preparing, Hawk. What have you been preparing?
For the thing that I need to do.
I don't remember what that was.
With the named person, I have to go and help them make something that I vaguely remember. Because Johnny Whoop offered for me to go and talk to a certain person
Yes.
and help assist them with something. I can't remember the full ins and outs of it. I just remember who it is and that it's going to be really tricky.
Yeah. Can we do direct messages on this? I don't think we can do.
No.
No. Okay.
If you've got WhatsApp, you can direct text her.
Yeah. If
Rather you could, but it would just still go to Dave. So.
No, I could send it to personal.
yeah, because if they're using a laptop.
Yeah, it'll come up on laptop and I will get all of the secret juicy knowledge.
You'll have no juicy knowledge. Yeah, here it was.
Roland, and you've been obviously kind of learning this secret.
Yeah.
Of the anti-gram. Astraios, what have you been doing in the last 2 months?
Pancakes.
I can believe it.
Yeah, yeah.
He's been teleporting pancakes into people's homes.
I thought he literally only just got back from being really sick because of his amount of teleporting.
Yeah, that's why he's not teleporting himself.
Obs.
He was kind of stuck playing pool.
For a short period of time, yeah. But then I think you managed to shake yourself out of Uzukai's influence.
Yeah, so like instead of just playing pool and wasting my time, I'm conducting valuable research on how many pancakes I can teleport at once. And like how many locations I can teleport them to at the same time.
Are you attempting this onto different suns? Like,
Not
here,
yet.
Red Sun, cheer up a bit, have a pancake.
Okay.
That's how Saturn got its rings.
Okay, so right.
He's been trying to see if he can web them out about portals.
Oh, what, like link them up with each other, kind of thing?
Yeah, because he made that one. Just the last game I remember was kicking that dragon's head off Arthur's
Teacup.
cup.
Yep.
So
There wasn't really a massive amount done after that, to be honest.
I don't know, there was quite a lot of reveals. It wasn't done so much, but it was a
Yeah.
lot of.
Exposition.
Mm.
Okay.
There was lots of top quality pathos.
What does that mean?
It's the younger brother of the main character from God of War.
Ugh.
You just take the picture off the walls and that.
No, pathos is sort of it's a bit like gravitas.
Why are you here?
I thought I could hear footsteps coming down.
Sorry? Okay, what do you want to say? Do you want to say hello to everybody?
She's just flickering in and out.
Naked child.
Say hello!
Hi,
Thomas is in the
Mel.
black one, you can't really see him unless he shines a light on his face. There he is.
Creepy child.
Right, you've got to go up to bed, darling. Yes, darling. Okay, go in your bed. Do you want some help or you're right? Okay. I'm going to put her to bed, you carry on.
Okay, cool. So the first card that I've pulled for the evening, ooh, my light has fallen down, is the Alchemist. Meanings of complexity, transformation, and knowledge. Astraios, roughly how many pancakes do you think you can teleport or portal at one time to different locations? If you really push yourself. 5?
if I really push myself. No,
If you-
5 is like the standard that I
Okay,
can do.
because
But
this
if I spend like a good day like focusing, I can double it.
okay, because this game is totally not magic. You know, every card has a value, and the value of the Alchemist is 8, because that doesn't fit with your spider. It doesn't fit with your whole spider theme at any time whatsoever. You actually can do 8 pancakes.
Turns out it's 8.
John. Get some proper little clips for these lights. Hawk, I don't suppose you remember what the actual thing was that you'd been asked to do?
No.
Okay.
I vaguely remember it was something that the person that I have to go see and work with hasn't been doing things that they should have been doing or something. I think. Or he's behind on something and that he needs help. That's all I vaguely remember.
Okay. I'm going to pull a card just to see how well that goes. Ooh, elusive sleep.
Ooh.
Rather...
So we've been busy.
Yeah. I think you possibly have shares in Beano's now.
Okay. Sick of the amount of coffee.
Either that, or you've
Coffee.
remanufactured one of the turrets on Abron himself. Crud. Yeah, remanufactured one of the turrets to actually be a coffee percolator. Did he miss that?
No, I think he caught it.
Oh.
Shares in Beano's.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it. It's in the book.
I told you anyway. Nathan.
I'm not going to confuse player knowledge with character knowledge.
And
Back.
hey, is she okay?
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
cool.
got hot, but she was buried under quite a lot of blankets and 4 pillows.
Right.
So, and she's, I want new pajamas. But she now has new pajamas and is less hot, apparently.
Oh, that's all right. And so you reconvene at the Rose. Seems to make sense.
Mhm.
And it's obviously nothing's changed for Hawk because you live at the Rose. Stowbold, I'm not sure if you've spent any time here in the intervening period or if you've been off.
I think I've popped back now and again, but just nothing major, you know.
Okay.
Getting on with the regular.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Roland has spent the kind of intervening 10 weeks kind of living with and training with what's his face, Crystal Fire,
Oh yeah.
because he's the one that's teaching you
He's nodding.
the ability. What's
Was
that?
Thomas Wet there when we had that exposition? Because that was the biggest one, really, wasn't it?
No.
So that was all about that. I forget what it was. We met Christopher.
Yep.
He was really keen to know where Eliana was, which I'd always hidden from him, but I was willing to give that up this time because when we went to send Eliana and what was her name?
Caliburn.
Yeah, off to the Invisible Sun, Fred, my mentor, turned up with a dragonfly mask the same as Christopher has, and it basically, you know how we're all part of this kind of group of people protecting the Rose that we didn't really know what the Rose was, but we thought it was kind of the central to the universe, to the everything. So is he. But apart from he knows that what the Path of Suns is, it used to be called the Path of the Rose or something.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep.
And there was a picture you showed us with all like a branch and all the different suns as rose heads on a big path and thorns, little stuff coming out. And it was all about, there was this spell that started everything off, and we think that and everything went forwards and backwards in time, and we think we're moving towards the middle because our part of was the thrown backwards part. So we have to make sure we reach the middle, otherwise it will never have been done and the universe will never have existed. So yeah, that's not bad memory.
That's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. And and the other thing is that was it Rysark who gave you 19's secret name?
Gave Roland, I think.
Yeah, gave Roland.
Was Rysark, yeah.
Yeah, gave Roland 19's secret name. So the reason why Roland's been off with Crystal Fire for all this time is that he's gone to learn this secret ability called Antigram, which is where if you know somebody's true name, you can you touch them and you say the Antigram, which is not necessarily the reverse, but the
opposite.
The opposite to their true name, but it's like an anagram of their true name, and then they just cease to exist.
Ooh. Thomas, do you know you're on mute? I'm sure he does. There we go.
I must not be by mistake.
That's all right. So did you get all that?
Yeah, I can still hear.
Cool.
Fantastic. And so you gather back at the Rose, and the Rose largely doesn't change a massive amount. There have been little changes kind of here and there. So you've got Hansy Dave behind the bar, and I think they've probably hired on somebody else to work the bar as well, because I think Hawk's been away for
A while.
a period of time, and sort of Astraeus has been away for a period of time, and Roller's been away, and obviously Eliana and Caliburn are still nowhere to be seen. And we need a image for whoever it was that has been hired for that. So I'll see if I can find a. Is there a way to just drop?
You
you
can
can-
share, screen share.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can screen share. It's probably the easiest. And you can pick which window that you're sharing.
Okay. No, not that one. There was
Marmite Steve.
Marmite Steve.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got Hansy Dave. Why not, Mum?
He's got this. He smells like fresh bread all the time.
And people either like him or hate him.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see if I can find a picture of Marmite Steve. Not that one there.
Not in yeast
Yeah.
extract, so therefore fresh bread. That was good. That smells like fresh bread.
Yeah, I'm confused.
Because Marmite is yeast extract.
I know.
We put that in bread.
Yeah. But Marmite doesn't smell like bread.
Kind of does.
And it does.
Yeah. So Marmite Steve.
What? That was not who I was thinking of.
Okay. Who you?
No. I'm happy that that is Marmite Steve. That's fine. It's just I'm concerned to go to bed with the man who hears Marmite Steve's and thinks that.
Okay. I'll find a different Marmite Steve then.
I'm with you, because that definitely looked more like a Marmite Jeff. He didn't look like no Steve.
I've
We do like
missed
handsy
this.
members of staff, don't we?
Pardon?
We do like handsy members of staff.
There's Marmite Steve and Marmite Jeff.
Okay.
I am Groot.
Yeah. So that's the two new staff members. Except you can't say staff members because that's possibly racist.
This is just.
Yeah, species or constructionist.
The minute.
And they so they're kind of working behind the bar, and Hansy Dave's directing things as he does normally, and he kind of sees the who gets there first. I'm going to say it's going to be probably Stowbold.
Mhm.
Yeah, so he kind of sees Stowbold come in. And it's like, oh, hey, my hands appear like they're floating. Your table's ready, and I'll go and get you some drinks. And it's still Fireball tequila.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Is everybody else coming along?
Yeah. They like come in the door moments behind me kind of thing.
Fantastic.
Scotch pancakes for everyone.
Scotch pancakes were already a thing.
Scotch pancakes.
Oh, why you do this to me? I'm hungry again now. Yeah, so he gets kind of a tray of drinks ready. So that's whiskey for Roland, and I forget what Hawk's drink is.
Something fruity.
Not at the
Mm,
moment. I'm
glitter.
going for a stiff martini. That's how stressful this new job role is.
Yes, an espresso martini. Hold the martini.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, he's got some Gold Sun coffee. He's got a Gold Sun espresso, and it comes in like, it comes in like a little lead lined shot glass about that big, with a lid and gloves and possibly a hazmat suit. And for Astraios, what's he taking?
Baby sham. I was sat there off camera ready to pounce.
What's
Yeah.
the stress really having? Or is he definitely having baby sham?
Dunno.
Oh, it's disconnected. Okay. So yeah, the four of you kind of sit down, and he brings the drinks over, and he says, "Well, I'm I know I'm only kind of like a fairly new employee, but I needed some help, so I hired somebody. If that's all right."
Yeah.
Do you have any idea when Eliana's coming back? If Eliana's coming back?
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
Ixnay on that laney any a. I couldn't do Pig Latin version of Eliana.
She's having a good time wherever she is. She'll be back whenever she's back.
I keep nearly dipping my microphone in my drink.
Lovely.
Okay. Well,
So
I
we'll
shall.
now know how to destroy 19 then, in theory.
Mm-hmm.
I'm nodding and you can't see me nodding. That's helpful.
No.
I'm all comfy.
I'll put you across.
There we go.
Yay!
Yay!
So yes.
So we going for 19 then?
What are you doing?
What's the freaking plot? I'm assuming so.
He's got a big bad, isn't he?
He is, but the thing is, I know his name now.
Yeah.
He's going to be too powerful for me to summon, though, isn't he?
I think you're what, third tier?
Yeah.
So that goes 3, 5. I think your maximum is like level 7 or level 9.
I think level 7.
Yeah. In theory, as long as you can get a sorcerer, officially, no, you can't. You can't summon him under the basis of us making a standard Goetic pact with him. You probably know that because he's had that many dealings with you, he's probably listening for any mention that you make of his name. So you probably reckon that it wouldn't be that difficult to get his attention.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't be able to control him once you got him.
No.
And the other thing we said a while back, I think, was that even if you did destroy him, somebody else falls in his place. You know, he's nothing. So it might make the problem worse, actually, because we're getting to know him and now we have a weapon against him. If we just destroyed him and then, 18 pops up, then we're no better off.
But Roland wants to destroy him. 19 was in Roland's head for quite some time, and it's
Yeah,
it's not.
but can we do it tactically, please?
Tactically, as in doing it at the right time, or tactically, as in take off and tactically nuke the site from orbit?
Don't know that spell yet. Working on it.
I'm working on bombs.
I will say to the table. I don't know that we can kind of directly go after him because we don't know where to find him, but we're ready for the next time he shows up.
Okay.
So in theory, as long as you're there the next time he...
So I can't remember if what I was doing was part of stuff as well, like in the bigger scheme of things. Like,
I have a suspicion that because it was Zarniwoop who'd asked you, it was to do with his ongoing kind of work against hate cysts. So it's kind of like a bomb that you could drop on a hate cyst that would kind of kablooey them and negate them. Oh, just writing that down before I forget again. Make anti hate cyst bombs. Right. Dangerous. Because the game is totally not magic. The dangerous elixir. Is that the right way round, or is that reversed?
Yeah, it's the right way.
The right
It looks
way.
wrong to you, but it looks right to
Okay,
everybody else.
fantastic.
Which makes doing karate practice quite entertaining because you're looking at the screen, you're thinking, I'm going the wrong way. No, it's fine.
And it specifically calls out that if these two cards are drawn next to each other, they amplify the effect of each other.
oh, what?
Oh yeah, because this game is
Not magic.
Oh, it doesn't work. It doesn't like. There we go.
Yes. Yeah, let's just have a look and see what dangerous elixir comes through to. Oh, should one turn the alchemist and dangerous elixir consecutively, this is called the ultimate transformation, and it suggests total and complete upheaval of the situation and possibly someone involved in it.
Sorry, can you repeat that? Because Dave's just coughing.
Yeah. It's called the ultimate transformation, and it suggests total and complete upheaval of the situation and possibly someone involved in it.
Oh, not magic at all.
There is a roaring sound of a motorbike from outside.
Okay. I'd peer out the
Is it a
window.
Technicolor motorbike?
Has it got a ruddy great sword sticking off the end of it?
Well, the person getting off it has got a really great big sword strapped to their back.
Is somebody riding pinion?
Nope, just one person. Door opens. Figure dressed head to toe in bike leathers. Very familiar looking black bike helmet and a very familiar looking sword strapped to her back. And the figure kind of scans out. It's definitely a her. Figure kind of scans around the pub, and you can kind of see them seeing you. Obviously, Stig-like black helmet, and she walks across to the table stands in front of you all, lifts the helmet off, shakes out the long blonde hair. Oh, sorry. Yeah, lifts the helmet off, shakes out the long blonde hair. It's Eliana.
Oh. Okay. What?
Well,
And that's where we leave it.
This coffee stuff. Am I seeing right?
I've been away for some time, I think, she says.
Yeah.
Snowball's got some sass.
You're 18 weeks late home for supper, young lady. 18 weeks.
She,
I stand up and give her a hug.
yeah, serious hug back. And she kind of puts the helmet down on the table, walks over to just behind the bar, gives Hanty Dave a hug, which for Hanty Dave is quite a complicated process. Yeah, gets kind of takes the great big sword off her back and then just mounts it on the hooks above the bar. Gets a drink and comes back and sits back down again. I think, she says, I think it worked. I think. I don't remember being anywhere. I remember getting back, I think it was a day ago, 2 days ago. Bit of a blur. Awfully sorry.
Where's Caliban?
If
it's worked, then why is she not back here?
We left at the same time. I remember being sent back deliberately, and we left at the same time. But I don't think time is massively important or massively relevant. You know how there are pockets of Saturnine where time runs faster or slower or doesn't, or backwards, or that sort of thing?
Yeah.
Like in that cheese making place 2 blocks over? Great. I think it's like that. But I know that some things are different. And she kind of very carefully takes off one of the bike gloves, puts it down on the table. And as she takes the other one off, you see that from there onwards on her arm is a kind of bronze metal, and it's etched in various runes. And as you take the glove off, you see that she's actually got 5 fingers and a thumb.
Like the Testament.
Like the Testament.
Like Rizzler.
I don't know why or how.
Well, I guess the one question that, well, I know up to know, and I guess the others might. Do you remember what it's like there? Invisible Sun. What's it like?
And she has kind of like a wistful, faraway look. And she kind of says, I don't want to say it. It's magical. Absolutely magical. It was just, I could feel. So I can remember Caliburn saying that when she works magic, it feels like she can feel it coming all the way through her. And it was like that all the time. And I don't think I wanted to leave. But I got sent back for some reason.
You don't know why.
Something important.
Do you remember
Something
who sent
important.
you back?
And she kind of holds her hand up again. I think it was her.
You met her?
I remember a presence. I can't remember words. You've been starstruck before, yes?
Oh yeah.
Kerry gets it with internet pugs.
Yeah, put an earplug in. Got some in the drawer. Yeah.
It was like that, but a millionfold. And I can't. It aches not being there anymore. But I do know, and she kind of sits back in the chair a little bit, and then she holds her hand up, and then there's like a floating ball of magical light above her hand, and she kind of does the thing where she grabs it and it disappears. I'm different. I think
You don't say.
I think I'm Bisley now.
What was she before?
She was just a magical being.
She was human, wasn't she?
Hmm.
As human as you can be in.
I think I have the site. Yeah, I have the site.
Yeah.
Is she Bisley?
Yep, she's Bisley.
So Roland, is she Vizsla?
Have you used your sight ability on real powerful people?
Or at least been touched by.
Probably.
Okay. She has power,
Yeah.
but it's no greater or no worse than any of the rest of you.
So Roland kind of like looks up over the lip of his whiskey glass and below the rim of his hat, and just says, "You are a Vizsla girl."
I'm a Vista girl in a Vista world.
Like magic, it's fantastic. You can summon me, conjure all sorts of stuff. Yeah.
It wouldn't be invisible something without that.
Without a stupid song. Oh yeah.
So, what have I missed? Do you want to just say recap?
Yeah.
Roland holds up his book. Yeah, Roland gives her the Cliff Notes version of it.
And she's kind of nodding, and the occasional raised eyebrow, and more nodding, and a second raised eyebrow, which is odd because they're both on the same side.
Eyebrow squared.
What happens if you pour root beer into a square glass? Do you just get beer? So, what the goal is now to tank this 19 guy. Has Eliana ever met him?
Yeah. I think so.
I know
I'm sure.
Caliburn did in the other bit, but I don't think he turned up.
Eliana would have seen him when we sent them off, and he turned up to
Oh yes.
Yeah.
kind of ruin it.
Okay.
And for some reason, although he's Matthew McConaughey, hey, also all of a sudden I'm picturing him as Mr. Sinister from the X-Men.
Who's Mr. Sinister?
I'll send a photo.
Okay.
He's share screen. This guy.
Oh, okay.
Okay. He. Oh, crikey.
Played by Matthew McConaughey. Hey.
Yeah, he's actually possibly one of the more complicated X-Men villains. Yeah. It'd take probably way too long to go into because yeah. So we find him, do our best to restrain him, you touch him and say his name backwards. Am I getting that right?
Roughly.
Yeah, as far as plans go, it lacks a little bit of refinement. But
Is nobody concerned about Caliban? I'm concerned about Caliban.
I am. That's where she is. We don't know where she's.
yeah, I'm concerned about Caliban.
Why is
Eliana
Eliana not concerned about
doesn't seem
Caliban?
concerned.
Huh?
I think Eliana doesn't seem concerned. I'm guessing that she not necessarily knows something, but knows something. You know what I mean? That kind of intuition that it's all right.
It's gonna be fine.
All right, good.
When you question her about it a bit further, and she says, I can remember being with her where we
Because
were.
we thought Vizsla might kill her. So did that happen?
I don't think so.
See, for somebody who said you were in love with, I don't think she's dead. It's a little bit of a kind of.
I went with her to support her, but I think all of the time that we were there, we were supporting each other.
Okay.
And I think that in all this time, as much as I've changed, so has she. I know she was sent back at the same time as I was. I don't know why I have her sword. I don't know why I have her bike. I feel that I trust Vizsla to have done what she needed to.
Okay.
But I know that she is still alive. I know that she is still safe.
Okay. It's good enough for you. Okay, so plan 2. Yeah, let's go kill 19. We're going on a deep nut. We're going to catch a big one. What a beautiful day. We're not scared.
What, but they're carrying on a bear hunt or a demon hunt?
I do not know.
You really didn't have a childhood, did you? It was like,
I had an awesome childhood filled with Transformers and He-Man.
yeah, but every kid knows we're going on a bear hunt.
This kid doesn't.
To be honest, I didn't know it until Isabel.
I didn't know until Isabel had her thing.
See? Don't forget you were a trainee teacher and stuff. So
Yeah, but I remember going on bear hunts when I was in primary school, so.
Oh, we have.
And then they did the TV show. Now that's why probably everyone knows it now.
what can I say? I was deprived. I just got He-Man.
Yeah, but possibly also Visionaries.
Do you know what? I love Visionaries. I didn't realise quite how kind of cack they were until recently. And Centurions, which I thought I'd made up for years.
No, oh, that was amazing.
Power Extreme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like me in Trapdoor. I genuinely believe I made that show up.
I thought that the Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now. I thought I'd imagined that song for years.
I wish you had. So the next card. The next card is the Vizier.
Ooh.
Jafar.
Divination. Someone is manipulating things behind the scenes, and it's almost certainly bad for the person in question.
Oh.
One must look for
come
where the real
on.
power is, because this card turn suggests. Look for where the real power is, because this card suggests that it isn't where one thinks it is. The Vizier can also mean that there is a way for one to manipulate the people involved in one's goals through careful words, clever words, coercion, or extortion.
Oh, good.
Ooh. And it is the nemesis of notions. So everybody takes a -1 unless you are notions, in which case you take -2.
Yay.
I am indeed Notions.
Oh no.
So, whilst you think what you're going to do for the next bit, I'm going to pause the recording and I'm going to go to the toilet. So I'll be right back. Yeah. So, killing 19.
Yeah. I'm not sure I feel prepared for this in the slightest, but
The thing that I can, one thing that's it's not been mentioned like anywhere in the source books or anything is that obviously when the sun changes, that's when we draw new cards on the Sooth deck. It kind of enhances certain magic and diminishes other types of magic, and then people of various suns are enhanced or hearts are enhanced and diminished. I'm sure that you can feel that. So that because the way I see it is that we've just pulled the nemesis of Roland's suit, is that Roland will kind of have that kind of someone walking across your grave shiver down the back, where it's like, yeah, I as much as I agree with that, I think I'm not sure if it's going to like put you off directly, but you're going to have that. I have a very bad feeling about this kind of moment.
Yeah, because
Ominous.
my thinking has been to learn the ritual, because 19 just pops up, and the next time he pops up, we're ready for him. I don't know that I want to
Go and find him.
deliberately go looking for him for a fight.
Fair enough.
To do it, that seems foolhardy.
because like you said, if he's got his feelers out, if he's trying to like hear us discussing him or talking about him, in a way that we are trying to look for him, it'll either make it really difficult or it prepares him for.
It tips him off.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay.
So it's more of a he turns up to mess with us and I mess back.
Big time.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are we doing?
I don't know. Is there any thing?
Well, I was going to go to the Museum of Me.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay.
How does we go in there?
Because I wasn't always snowballed, and I had this lava person underneath. I want to know a bit more about that because it turned out that when talking to Fred, when I come from the actuality, they kind of knew that, and they knew it wasn't too dangerous for me. But I still want to know more because I still could be a sleeper agent, and if something triggers,
Mm.
then that might be a problem. But in theory, this museum of me might tell me something a bit more.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm also wondering whether it's worth trying to figure out something where we could work together to almost create, like a circle of holding.
What around me?
No. But whenever we get to 19, that if he does turn up, that we can.
It's like instant circle of holding. Just go pow.
It's almost like a spell within a bottle that you can throw, and it's like a powder, and it. I don't know.
Like
I know, right? Because our church gives away all random free stuff, and one of the things is a pop-up frisbee,
Okay.
and it folds down to about that small. But then when it
Yeah.
pops open, it's like a pop-up tent, and it's like that big.
Yeah.
We could have a pop-up circle, and we're just like, ching, there you go.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Something like that.
you.
Yeah, or like, so it's like a circle of holding in a potion powder circly thing that, I don't know, if each one of us had whoever's closest can just be like, and it holds it in place or something for whenever you got to do whatever you got to do.
Yeah, because you tried to hit him in the train, and it didn't really do much. But if he kind of moves, if like you go to touch him and he moves,
Yeah.
Just have ourselves prepared for whenever we do meet him,
yeah,
rather than him just turning up and then going, I know your name, blah 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 blah. Actually giving us the upper hand, the best chance that we can to.
yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense, but
It makes total
Perfect
sense.
sense.
Just a quick one then, Hawk. What kind of materials do you have to hand that you could use to forge those sort of things? Or you've just had 10 weeks worth of working with one of the best makers ever.
yeah.
What material do you reckon you could have snaffled or begged or borrowed?
I don't know, is there some kind of like, he's a demon, isn't he? So what stops demons? It's almost as if like,
Traditionally, salt.
yeah, a super concentrated form of salt or something that would trap him in a.
Joe Exotic, he's the saltiest person I know.
No, that's Carol.
Carol Basilisk.
I haven't seen Tigerland?
King, Tiger King.
I haven't seen Tiger King, but I did watch Legal Eagle's legal review of it. He's a YouTube channel that he's an actual lawyer, but he like reviews courtroom dramas and stuff,
Yeah.
about how accurate they are. And he did a review of the show, and he went, "This is like an F because the characters are unbelievable and the stuff that's going on is ridiculous. Except that this is real, so actually it's an A, and I can't believe that I'm giving it an A."
So, Hawk, you managed to get from the guy you've been working with a small supply of, I'll probably say some metal from the gold sun.
Yeah.
It's all about transformations or whatever. So it's like a twisted, corrupted. So it's night side gold, sun gold.
So, what? Do you know what level that might be?
Idiot.
Level 14.
Night side.
Just had my charger plugged into the wrong port all this time.
Ooh. It didn't make the magic pixie escape from the back of the laptop, did it?
Oh.
No. Okay.
What?
Oh, I used to have a laptop many years ago when I went through a period when my desktop had died because we'd got one of those anti-mouse plug-in things, and the feedback had kind of killed the power supply on the laptop. But my dad had given me a laptop. It was a really nice piece of kit, and at the time I also had one of those kind of shiatsu chair massage things. You know, you put the mat on your chair and it's got the little vibraty knobbles and
Robot
bobbles in the
prostitute
back.
from the future.
Bernard,
Those sort of things.
Bernard,
Yeah.
Bernard.
My boss actually has one. He's like, look, I've got this. It's really good for my neck. I'm like, it's a robot prostitute from the future, which will not mean anything if you haven't seen Black Books.
Yeah. And I went to plug, and I had this laptop next on the computer desk, same desk as I've got here, and I had it on there, and I was halfway through playing like Half-Life 2 or 3 or whatever. I'd fixed the computer at that time, but my save game was on the laptop, so I kept on playing. And I went to plug it in, and it didn't start charging. And then about 30 seconds later, smoke starts coming out the keyboard because I'd plugged the shiatsu chair power thing in, and it was exactly the same size ports, but the pins were reversed.
Oh,
Ouch.
Yeah.
that's hit me right in the feels.
Yeah. So it's like that thing where you really, really get computers to go wrong is you release the magic pixies from the circuit boards. Yeah, so you reckon, Hawk, that you could make some kind of, this stuff is very, the Gold Sun is all about kind of transformation. The Night Side is, it goes one of two ways. It's kind of either it is either kind of transformation through either turned up to 11 to almost destructive levels, or it's transformation to like entropy, like it just kind of breaks things down. Outside sun. So you reckon you could turn this into some sort of device that if you throw it on the floor and it will trap him, or
You're making a demonic Pokeball.
Pretty much, yeah. Except it doesn't throw it into it, it just keeps him there.
have you ever come across the D&D magic item, the Iron Bands of Bilaro?
I've heard of them, but I've not. Yeah.
So what they are is that's a sphere about yay big, and you throw it at somebody, and when it hits them, they kind of expand and form like a cage around them of iron.
Yes. Yes, I have.
Yeah, because Chris gave them to me. We've had them in a game
Yeah.
at some point.
And I think Doctor Strange uses the Crimson Bands of Sitarak, a spell that Doctor Strange uses in the comics, is very similar.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that, I guess.
So
demon trapping-y.
Yeah. Between yourself and, if you can work together with Roland,
Yeah.
you'll probably be able to turn these into suitable kind of grenades that, except you've possibly got, for just a briefest moment there, Charlie, you had just a head like that. Your body disappears and it's just a head floating in space.
Really still, my body disappears.
I've perfected the art of standing so still I become practically invisible.
With this drop of pollution, because everybody's self-isolating, Drax has become visible once again.
You see the one, because of the pollution drops, we can now see the Universal logo from behind.
Yeah. And the Star Wars text crawls.
Yeah. And the moon is now visible from Alderaan.
Too soon. So yeah, I'll help Hawk with that. I'll kind of as she's kind of manufacturing the sort of like various pieces, I'll kind of inscribe the kind of various summoning runes and whatnot on them
Magic-y
for
science.
holding.
Fantastic. Can both of you give me a roll, please? Hawk, it'll be based on your crafting. And
I just found the address and the name that you gave me.
yeah? Okay. Was it
Wasn't
actually on,
anything else in there other than the address and the name? I was kind of trying to think if there was anything else, but
as to what he'd actually asked you to do for him?
yeah.
Okay.
We might have to go back and watch the last video.
Yeah. I possibly should have done that this afternoon. Oh well.
I am finding this very enjoyable.
Awesome.
Crafting level 4.
What would you like me to roll?
What skill do you normally use when you're making your colloquy with demons?
Well, normally I use sorcery.
Okay. That's a sorcery. Yeah, but that's the action that you.
Oh, for when I'm actually speaking with them, it
Yeah.
would be. I've got it written down here.
So basically, looking at the text, angels are more difficult to use bribes and threats. Demons are more difficult to use persuasion, and dead spirits are more difficult to use trickery on them.
Yeah, so I guess for demons, it would depend. Depending on the demon, it would be bribes, threats, or trickery.
Okay.
I'm guessing, as this is 19, I'm going to go with threats.
Fantastic. So if you can give me a roll based on whatever threatening skill that you've got.
Threatening skills. Ranged combat.
Shotgun is your skills list.
Storytelling.
Yep.
I'm writing the story of how his ass is going to go bye-bye.
Okay.
So here we go.
Oh,
I've rolled a 0.
Yeah, it's a normal dice though.
It is a normal dice.
It could have been worse.
So that's 3.
3. Okay.
I got 10.
Fantastic. Do you want to throw a sortilege on there, Dave, and roll that one of them nice little red ones I passed you?
No.
Yeah,
That's an 8. So that's
Yay.
11
Okay. Fantastic.
or 5 if you're doing it the right
you
way
got to
around.
take 2 off as well, though.
Oh yeah, minus the 2. Bugger.
Mine's the 1, so
Bums.
that was 9.
Okay.
Mine was also 9 then. Oh. Gosh darn it. Role playing's brilliant until the rolling dice bit.
If you can just go through some of your materials, Hawk, or your ingredients, and just choose what else that you're using.
Cool.
Again, if there's anything else that you think you might need.
Gold. We've got Demon Ichor and Elder Bryn Tears. They're level 3. Level 2 stuff I've got liquid silver, eye boot, salt. Salt's a must. I think I will be chucking salt in there somehow. Those are all my ingredients. I don't have much materials. Special.
You also would have spent some time kind of chipping down Rysark's head. Did I give you the list of all of the things that you got from that?
Did, yeah. The hat. Nope. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it didn't necessarily give actual details of what they were. His brain was a level 8 power source. His bones were level 8 material, or level 6 ones. His tooth. Oh right, yeah. So each different thing. So hey, I have Rysark's.
And any of those bits you want to throw in there?
I think if we chuck in some level 6 bone, that's strong, and
Sorry, I'm a child. I had level 6 bone and I started giggling.
So it's Nightside Gold,
yeah.
Salt, and Dragon Bone.
Yeah.
Okay. That's wrong, Dave. That's just wrong. Ultimately wrong.
You've seen the one with the farmers with a cow. They've painted a cow to look like a tiger, and they've done photo shoots with Joe Exotic and a cow. Internet and Cornish people. I'm allowed to say that.
Okay. Snowball, were you helping making this?
I don't think so. It's a bit out of my wheelhouse.
Okay.
It's like a makery, spelly type thing. It's not really something I would normally do.
They probably needed some kind of decent heat source to melt this, or magical heat
Oh, well,
source
if
to
that's
melt
the
this.
case, yeah. I'm happy to do that.
Fantastic. And incriminating skull. So that goes really quite well. How much does your kind of that whole volcano lava thing still happen?
I'm getting better control of it now. It's been going on for a while. Before it was just when I was kind of angry and quite emotionally volatile, but now I'm able to control it a bit better. If I get too emotional, then I can't.
Okay.
But now I can kind of do it a bit more on demand. It's not going to be crazy hot because that's like the anger stuff, but it's going to be, hot enough.
Okay. So the last card of the evening, because I'm very much aware that Isabel and whatever, is the incriminating skull. And something about working on this very transformative metal, kind of, I think, possibly as you're heating it, so Hawk can work her ingredients into it. I think some of it probably drops on you or spits out on you, so there's like a bead of this metal that lands on you, and it doesn't do any damage because you're used to hot things by now.
Yeah.
But I think that's where we kind of leave it, that this droplet of molten gold possibly just like lands on you, where that's it, you're doing that thing where you've turned your hand into like your lava monster form, and you've got a crucible and you're melting this gold just by holding it and channeling heat into it.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
and it's bubbling a little bit, and a bit just kind of pops out and it lands on you, and you kind of look at it and you go to brush it off, but it kind of just does that whole thing where it kind of seeps into you and just disappears into your body.
Mm. Okay.
And that's where I'm going to leave it. Summaries.
How are we recording Joy and Despair and things? Record them somewhere.
Yeah.
I think I get a joy from that to see Eliana back.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much
That's my biggest.
my views.
Okay. Yep, definitely. Any progress in any of your other arcs?
My arc to get revenge on 19 is moving along quite swiftly because now I know how to kill him.
Yep. I'll give you 2 acumen for that one.
I've got a mysterious secret. Begin the search and doing research, and I says I've been chatting to people all this 10 weeks.
Yep. Okay, so
that's one step in that direction.
yeah, 2 acumen for that one there.
Okay. Yeah.
Joy or despair, Roland?
Joy for Eliana is back.
Fantastic. Same for Hawk?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I was just going, oh, it's a shame I haven't got a pencil around sitting next to my entire art block.
Crochet a +1.
Cool. Okay. Thank you very much, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you. I really enjoyed that. It was lovely seeing all your faces again.
Yeah. I think
I
Any-
can fix that.
Dave's hand just popping in every now and again.
yeah, I think Discord is nice and everything, and it's got a few nice features, but whilst we've got access to Zoom, then I'd like to keep on using it if that's all right.
Yeah, Zoom's good.
Yeah,
Hey.
Sensei was very nice and lent us a laptop.
Oh, bless him.
So Dave can do karate better.
I've got the feeling he wants me to teach more sessions. I taught a session on Monday. Doing Zoom on the iPhone, I've got 4 very, very small screens on my phone, and I've got to constantly swipe across to see all of the other people, whereas on a laptop, obviously, I can get more screens up at once. So, yeah. But, hey-ho.
Awesome sauce.
That was good fun. Thanks very much.
Yeah,
Welcome.
thank you.